Hi guys, welcome back to Kelvin's Kitchen. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. On today's episode, we're making the most succulent, juicy, moist, luscious, soft and tender, Korean-inspired rack of lamb. Coming up. Oh, and one more thing. Do not forget to press that bell button so you don't miss any upcoming recipes. To begin, in a mixing bowl, add in 2 tablespoons of Korean chili paste, also known as gochujang. In other words, a flavor bomb. Half a cup of green onions, and we're using the green and the white parts. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. 6 cloves of garlic, minced, 1/4 cup of soy sauce, and no light soy sauce please. We need regular soy sauce as we need all that salt. 3 tablespoons of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Now, we give that a whisk and combine all the ingredients together. For this recipe, we're using 2 racks of lamb, and each rack is about 1 pound each. 1 rack will feed about 2 people. We're going to cut between each bone, almost but not quite until it hits the loin. So we're just cutting between each bone and not touching that tubular piece of meat below. And not only will this let our marinade penetrate a little better, this would also help them cook a little bit more evenly as well. So I went ahead and did that to both racks. And it is pretty key that we use racks that has been Frenched, which means the meat and the fat around in between the bone has been removed. Now, we transfer the racks into the marinade, and we're going to make sure that we give it a nice rub. Every piece of meat needs to be covered in the sauce. After massaging them for about a minute or so, we're going to cover and put in the fridge overnight. They're going to marinate for about 24 hours for best results. "24 hours later, we're going to transfer them into a baking dish, and of course you're going to save the marinade. Bake at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. And while we're waiting, transfer the excess marinade into a pan and bring it to a boil so it is safe to use as a sauce once we serve our meat. And once it has boiled and reduced a little, we're going to take it off the pan and brush it onto our racks. 20 minutes later, change the setting of your oven to broil and broil for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes of broiling, they should look like this. Now we're going to let them rest for 10 minutes before we dig in. Brush the sauce onto the racks, and as you can see, we're presenting Flintstone style. They're interlocked with each other, mainly for presentation reason. You may present them like this if you want, or not. After all, you are the alpha and the omega of your rack of lamb. This presentation is so beautiful that I can honestly just look at it all day. But I'd rather cut into it and try some. And to carve this, we simply cut between the bones, normally allowing 2 ribs per piece. And not only did our marinade serve as a marinade and as a glazed sauce, but because of its sugar and salt content, it acted sort of as a brine. And it really helps that meat retain a lot of moisture, as hopefully you can see here. It helps the fact that we didn't overcook it, but this could have not come out any juicier. And if you overcook yours and it's not as pink as you want it to be, just paint some of the sauce on and no one will even know. And even if you overcook it a bit, it's still going to be very juicy very succulent, and extremely flavorful. Have you ever had lamb before? Just let me know in the comment box down below. Let's give it a try. The most succulent, juicy, moist, luscious, soft and tender, Korean-inspired rack of lamb. And while the marinade did amazing things texture-wise, the flavor and the savoriness of this is just as impressive. And there you guys have it, Korean barbecue rack of lamb. Enjoy! If you guys enjoyed this recipe, please consider subscribing. Leave me some comments down below, give it a thumbs up, and YouTube wants you to watch that recipe and that recipe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Thanks for watching.